So, obviously, 2023 was a crazy ass year for gaming. It had so many insanely well-made, well-polished, and fun as fuck games that it was kind of staggering. There was so many good games that it was like impossible for anyone to play all of them. Normally I only do a top 5 for every year, but I think for this year, sort of mark this monumental year of gaming, I would actually give a full top 10 for the games that I had played this year, specifically the ones that I played. That's usually how I go by these, right? Hence why last year Xenoblade 2 was my top game of that year, despite it, having released many years before. So we'll go ahead and start from my number 10 game this year. Starting from, we're gonna work from 10 and work our way all the way to my number 1. My number 10 game of 2023 is Super Mario RPG. Yeah, believe it or not, this is my number 10 game of this year, dude. This one just at the little last moment made my top 10. This game is awesome. This game is so fucking good. I 100% get why people were huge fans of this game. If I'd played back in the day too, this game definitely would have been I would have had some serious nostalgia for it. It's so funny, dude. It's so goddamn funny. I think in some ways it's even funnier than Thousand Year Door is. Now, granted, I haven't even totally beaten it, but I'm like inches away from the end. So I could say pretty confidently that this game would make my list. It's so many just funny, odd things, like this whole thing with the cake here, how this shit ends up going. This goofy wedding, and then the fucking cake comes out and we fight the cake. We're like, what the hell is going on? The cake's alive. So much weird, goofy shit. Not to mention just the characters are so cute in this game, man. They're so fucking adorable. Everyone's like, I love Mallow, dude. He's so awesome. He's such a funny little buddy. He's such a good little buddy, man. Bowser, this is why everyone loves Bowser, I thought it was I played Thousand Year Door and I almost thought it came from that game. No, dude, it came from this game. This is the reason why Bowser's the fucking best. It's because of this game. And every other RPG version that has Bowser is basically this one. And it's fucking awesome. This is the OG. Fuck, man, it's so funny. He's so this is why I love ad-libbing with him, man. He's so goddamn hilarious. I just want to be loved. Him trying not to make Mario think he likes him in any way. He's like, yeah, I'm not joining your team. You're joining my minions. Gino is awesome. Peach is pretty great, even though she's just kind of the healer. She just kind of hangs out with us. But the gameplay is super fun. This game is also, I feel like it does something that I also feel it does a little better than Thousand Year Door. I think the pacing in this game is really good, but compared to Thousand Year Door is a great game, but it does have some moments where the pacing kind of gets a little fucked up, when you have to backtrack to certain areas and you're like, oh really, dude, you may run all the way back again. It does that multiple times throughout the game. It feels sort of needless. This game is short and sweet, right? It is just a perfectly bite-sized little adventure that just does not overstay its welcome. To be honest, I don't even have that many critiques against this game. So you might be wondering, well, why is it not rated higher? Because it is it's still a really kind of older game that I feel, as much as I really did enjoy it, and I do enjoy it, I feel like there are other games that sort of, to me, feel it's gonna leave a bigger impact, right? To me, this game is just such a breath of fresh air, a nice palate cleanser kind of feeling kind of game that you play it to feel good, and it's perfect for what it is. But I feel like personally, and again, this is a very personal list, there are other games that I think I would rate higher than it that if I think are gonna sit with me longer for a variety of reasons. But this game is fantastic. Its music is so good too. Oh my god, Yoko Shimomura, don't miss, bro. Listen to this shit. This fucking swinging ass music. It's so good. This legitimately, everybody should play this game. If you're a fan of RPGs, if you're a fan of Mario, everyone should play this game. I'm sad that it took me this long to play this game myself, but I'm glad I did, because I get it, man. I 100% get it. And then I think this remake is also just wonderful. It's a wonderful remake. Number 9 game for 2023 is Star Ocean. Star Ocean 2, the second story. are. Speaking of good remakes, this is a fucking incredible remake. I've always thought that this is the best fucking Star Ocean game, right? It's also one of the best RPGs on the PS1. The original was timeless. It was amazing. That's why me and myself and guys like Leon here, we're all super miffed and pissed to fuck when the Star Ocean 2 remaster never made it to the West for some reason. It was only released in Japan. So we're over here sitting here like, what the fuck, bro? When's 2 gonna come over here? When is an our turn? Years go by, years. Nothing, no, not just silence, not a fucking word said. And then suddenly, motherfucker, this shit just drops in a Nintendo Direct, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not just remastering, we're not bringing over that version that you saw in Japan. No, this is a full-ass remake of Star Ocean 2. And this is like, this basically, in my opinion, replaces the original in any other version of the game. This is such a fucking amazing remake of this game. It has so many quality of life things that just make it so much goddamn more enjoyable to play, including just like the ability to fast travel, to see where your fucking private actions are unlocked, to see what your affinity is. The changes to the battle system, the battles are way better. Still busted to shit, all right? This game is a broken mess in its core, but it allows you to break it in the most hilarious ways, just as the enemies can also kind of break you in a lot of ways. But it's just fun. It's just dumb fun. And I wouldn't have it in any other way, because the game gives you just an absurd amount, a fucking absurd amount of shit to do and experience. With like, you can go to a goddamn theme park and play in an Iron Chef tourney. I can ride on a bunny around this whole fucking planet, getting these random treasure chests that are just splayed about everywhere. Look at this. Look at me just clipping through this shit. Looks like I'm breaking the game, right? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's just what he does. Like, there's so many different ways to item create in this game, and it's so, I can fish. It's so engaging. They added fishing. This wasn't even in the original game. There's so many things to do. If you want to try to complete this game, good luck, dude. Holy God. See you in a fucking couple of years, bro. There's so much shit you can do. So many things. You can pickpocket literally every NPC, and this was in the original game. Every NPC, and they have unique items on them. Sometimes they only have items that you can only come across from pickpocketing them. The story itself is relatively basic. Going back through this again, it made me realize like how much of the game is like, we're gonna go check out the sorcery globe, and then you don't, like, for like many hours. You just kind of like talk about doing it and then do some other random shit, like, you know, get pissed off at Diaz or fight him in a tournament, or talk to Reyna in the middle of the night with the music plays. Just like, and random shit happens. Then like, basically by the end of the first disc, you finally find the sorcerer globe, and then the real game begins. Suddenly you're like, oh, these are the bad guys, and they show up. It's got really great characters. They are fun. I will say voice acting is a little hit or miss in this version. It's apparently what was in the PSP version. This game is just fun to play. It's hard not to play this game and just get so addicted to it. Just the amount of fucking shit that you can do. Not to mention, like, I think that the music in this game, the original music, not the remaster soundtrack is not that great in my opinion. Original music is fantastic. It has one of the best overworld themes, which we're listening to right now. I love this game, and I think this remaster is fucking awesome. Play it. My number 8 game for 2023 is Tears of the Kingdom. Oh Lord, everyone is sort of convinced that I like hate this game. That I just hated it. I thought it was the worst game ever. It's like Breath of the Wild was so much better or something, or just I was like, this is the worst game ever. It just deserves nothing, no accolades, nerds, no praise for any of the shit it did. You can suck my balls. No, damn it. It's almost like if I'm not like absolutely rabid and insane over the Zelda game or something, people just assume I hate it, you know, because I get it. I get a lot of people think this is their game of the year, you know, this is the best game that came out this year, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna say those people are wrong, but this is my list, so suck my balls. It's number 8. I do think this game is awesome. I do, but I also have a lot of problems with it. Before we talk about it, why is it even on this list for me? Because this game is an absolute technical marvel and has some insanely brilliant uses. Like, look at this shit. Whoa. How I'm solving this puzzle. The game lets you have just the most insane tool set in a video game ever that you would think would cause the game to explode from just how, like, How am I moving this ball thing in this world, in this 3D scape, interacting with the world in this way, gluing shit together, making crazy, people made like giant mecha monstrosities that like, it works, it functions, it does what it's supposed to do. It's like, and you're like, how? It's insane. Like, I've never seen anything like, even like, yeah, Gary's mod or whatever. It's like, yes, Gary's mod like Zelda, but honestly, I mean, Gary's mod broke and like shattered all the time. This game, like, I don't like, so rarely did I ever come across anything that was like, oh, the game broke. It really didn't, man. It was so insanely polished. And it was fun. It, like, I would say the good, like 80% of this game for me was insanely enjoyable. Discovering things, getting fucking electrocuted. Check this shit. I'm fine. Gliding around with my little bird friend, going to the shrines, you know, find these dumb Koroks. It was just fun as fuck exploring and looking around the world, going to the underworld, going to the Sky Islands, finding stuff up there. This game takes a surprising amount of Breath of the Wild and makes it feel fresh for a good chunk of it. I think the music is also better than Breath of the Wild. For example, we're listening to the theme you fight when finding that big weird little like thing. And you like dive through his body, and it was like, oh shit, this music's awesome. So why isn't it rated higher? Let me ask the real question now. Then, well, okay, you do seem to really like it then, Nico. Well, why didn't you rate it higher? Because I have a lot of problems with this game that I can't sort of overlook. As much as I think this game is really good for the long chunk that I played it, and I played it for a long time. You guys, I shared online. I played for like over 200 fucking hours, dude, because I was checking out all of the side stuff, you know, trying to check out all the, because that's what I do, and I really like a game. But I fell off this game really hard by the end, and the main reason I did was that I started to see the seams of the game. Right? As cool and as amazing as all the mechanics are that are in this game, it ends up being that a lot of the solutions to problems and puzzles in the world and enemies encounters are kind of solved in the exact same way, like every time. You could make a giant crazy mecha thing to take out this guy. You could do that, or you could just hit him with a big rock thing, and it's kind of like you get the same outcome with way less trouble. The rewards for a lot of the side quests suck. To be honest, a lot of the side quests themselves were not that good, except for a handful which were excellent, like the Hudson Construction Company and his daughter. Like, that was an exceptionally good one. But other ones were like remember when I went to go rebuild that village for down by the shore, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I get to now use my cool powers to help build the village back up. They could have done something really cool where they like took pieces to put shit back and glue it together or something. And no, every single one of those ones, albeit except for one, rebuilding a house, was take a palm tree and stick it in the hole. Put the palm tree in a hole. A lot of the shrines here also ended up sort of feeling like kind of needlessly repeated in some ways. Like, okay, yeah, you just use Ascend here. Oh yeah, okay, you gotta sneak around and kill these guys while you're naked. Okay, yeah, you know. You gotta do that. It's like you start to see it, and it's really, again, is it my fault because I played too much of the game? Maybe I just played too much of it. I think the main issue, because the problem is I got to the end of this game and I actually fell off it much harder by the end than I did Breath of the Wild. And the reason is because I also just saw so much of Breath of the Wild in this game. I essentially had experienced already this overworld that we'd seen in the last game. Like, it is still mainly the same world with new things and new crazy powers that you can harness in a way to change things and mess around with it, but it's still like the same world. You know, the Gerudos are still in the same area, Rito is still in the same area. Like, all the places are still like in the same places that you know. You don't know, it's not like you can go back to Breath of the Wild where back then I'm like, anything could be over there, bro. It's like, no, there are the Gorons. Like, I know they're right there. There's a lot of reused music. The combat is almost untouched. To be fair, the sword combat and everything in the game, aside from your gluing stuff to weapons and that regard, but your actual mechanics and fighting are untouched. And also, the story in this game sucks. The story in this game, I think, is not good. I think it's actually worse than the story of Breath of the Wild, and that's also not like an amazing story. It's like, it's all right, but it has some interesting themes, I feel like, in the first game, right? Where it's like Zelda, for whatever reason, can't harness her power, right? And leads to this interesting dynamic between you know, her seeing like a failure and stuff, and those like that interesting flashback where this game was like, it actually has more potential. It had more potential than Breath of the Wild. Actually, like it's there, it's right there within its grasp, and it does nothing with it. It does nothing. They have the coolest looking Ganondorf in the entire series. He looks so dope, and he's such a basic bitch, bro. They have Zelda seem like she could be evil in the game, but she's so obviously not, and they like spoil that plot point in a flashback in one scene. Like, oh, she walks out, she's evil. Oh wait, no, it's not her, it's the fake blood. You know, she's over there, and it's like, and it does like nothing with it, man. People brought up a really cool theming that was seemingly there, but also not touched on, with like Zelda seeing Rauru and his wife as like surrogate parents to her. Like, oh, these are the parents that I never had that support me, right? Unlike her piece of shit dad from her own time that really didn't help her when she was struggling to learn her powers, was just kind of like, figure it out, bitch. There was so much there, but they just like fly through that stuff. We give it the same exact story structure that we gave Breath of the Wild, where everything's just in a flashback cutscene, right? And it's like, why is Ganondorf doing this? Like, what is the motivations behind characters? Why is it every time I free one of these Guardian guys, they're like, they gave us the same fucking story? You'd think it would be different, like, because it's from different perspectives. It isn't. It's the same. Let me tell you about the something war, whatever the fuck it was. I blocked out my head because I heard it so many fucking times. There's a cool quest in this game that involves you flying around to these little signs that are floating in the air to uncover extra lore bits, right? And to bring back to this guy on the ground level to get extra like bits about the story, seemingly. And you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna like go into a deeper dive of like stuff that's going on. It isn't. It doesn't. All the things that you get from it, which is essentially the reward for it, because the reward for actually beating it isn't even really anything. All you get from it is exactly the same thing the game's been beating into your head again and again. The game acts like you haven't been paying any attention and have absolutely no like preconception of what a story is. Like, the game treats you like you're a fucking idiot. And you're just like, what? Why? What was the point of that? Like, yeah, man, I expect a little more from Zelda. I kind of wanted to have a bit more bite to it. It doesn't need to be like mindfucky levels of like Kingdom Hearts time travel shenanigans. Like, it doesn't need to be that crazy. But it's like, if they have all of these pieces in here, if they're gonna even incentivize the player to uncover lore bits about its story, make that story fucking interesting. Give me something different that the main story isn't telling me. Like, give me something to work with here, bro. I almost think I liked Breath of the Wild better because it was all brand fucking new to me. It's a technically better version of Breath of the Wild. It is. This game is better, like, just on its own, by its gameplay, by its puzzles, and by the stuff that you can do in it. Like, it's got more varied ways of tackling things in a lot of times. Like this stuff. This shit's amazing. This is what makes this game fucking incredible, dude. This shit is, look at this. This is crazy. And it's letting me do this. This shit is actually unfucking believable. I think by the end, I sort of started, I didn't feel this at the end of Breath of the Wild either. Funny things, I didn't really feel this much, but by the end of this game, I kind of miss the really like tailor-made shrines, you know, that were made like I almost wish that instead of having like a billion of these little mini ones, we just had like dungeons that had like a varied amount of puzzles. Because by the end, unfortunately, I sort of feel like I'd seen everything. You know what the best one in this game was? The best shrine? It was the very final one that you get the giant Megatron from. That's the best one in this game, bro. Why? Because that one made use of your skills in the most interesting ways. There's like one point where you gotta like get this box over to this thing and you have to glue stuff to it to use it as a vehicle and stuff. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, this is so smart. This is such an interesting, brilliant one. And then the other ones are like, yeah, you know, there's like a thing you gotta ascend that you can literally just climb up the side of the fucking like, you can skip like half this dungeon just by climbing it, you know? And it's like, you could just do that, just kind of skip the whole dungeon and go straight to the end, or just like run over to the main points. That's why I like the other one, because it didn't let me do that. I had to be like actually forcing it in some way. I think this game is a wonderful game. I do. I think it is a brilliant game. I think it's something that people should play, and I do highly recommend it. but it is definitely not my game of the year and not in my upper echelon. Because I have these huge problems with it. That doesn't mean I hate the game, all right? You gotta realize, I still had like 80% of a playthrough that I thought was pretty goddamn magical. But you play it too long and you will start to see the seams of it. And I saw it way faster and way more intensely than I did Breath of the Wild because this game has so much of what Breath of the Wild was in it. If that means I'm a fucking hater, bro, like, oh yeah, Nico'S just hates this game, is a hater. I don't know what the fuck else you want, dude. All right. I gotta be real with you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And I think this game could have been fucking better. But I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna tell you that this game is trash. I mean, as much as people hated Last of Us Part 2, dude, I feel like anyone who says that game is trash is just full of shit. All right. If you think that game is like, you're not even gonna take into account how like insanely gorgeous and well optimized and insane that game is, then you're just fucking like, you're being a hater, bro. Like, come on. I can easily acknowledge that this game has so many things in it that are fucking incredible. There's a ton of things in this game that are fucking amazing and that I do love. Now, let's actually move on. My number 7 game of the year is Spider-Man 2. This is it, guys. We did it. We got the Venom arc that we always deserved. I always liked the Venom arc in the original, like, goofy cartoon that showed up in the 90s. The original Spider-Man cartoon show. It hasn't aged well. It's the one with, you know, Shocker! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! You can't escape me! Just level of insane ham and cheese, you know, that is so memed on, right? But it had a lot of really cool concepts. You know, the suit was stuck on Pete's body. He like used it to transform himself into whatever he wanted. It basically altered his powers in ways that his OG suit did not. Which is why the Spider-Man 3 movie was so weird and odd, because it was like Tobey Maguire was all juiced up like, yo, motherfucker, look what I can do. It's crazy. I'm like, you're doing the same shit you normally do, bro. Are you even that much stronger? Like, what the hell? Literally nothing magical about his shit. He's just over here dancing through the street like he's the goddamn kingpin. Just like, fucking Bully Maguire. That's the best shit that came out of that movie. So I was like, oh, dude, Insomniac is getting the... doing Spider-Man 2 and they're doing Venom. Oh, please let it be good. Please let it be good. Please let it be good. It was fucking great, bro. I loved it, dude. I absolutely loved this Venom arc they did. It had everything that I wanted with like Peter slowly, like, you know, he starts off relatively normal, but he slowly is like getting more aggressive, getting more edgy, getting more like pissed, and then until he's full on like roided out rage mode, right? He's all veiny and shit, and like watching how that affects the people around him. I've seen a lot of people, like I've even seen Max, and I think this is a fair criticism, but it personally didn't bother me that much. I didn't mind the beginning of the game being a relatively slow buildup. And it is a pretty slow buildup because the Venom stuff doesn't really kick in until like midway into it. I mean, you see Venom on Harry, right? I mean, you see the suit on Harry. And the reason why it didn't bother me much was because I liked Harry a fucking lot in this game, bro. I really liked Harry Osborn. He's the best Harry Osborn, in my opinion. Like, suck a dick, James Franco. Your Harry Osborn sucked, James Franco. He was just awesome, dude. He was like, you understand why him and Pete were like best buddies. He like joins Pete as like, oh, I want to be a superhero too. He's all like jazzed up about it and stuff. Like, you're fucking running to him fighting crimes in the street and you like high five him. Like, I liked the one with Miles where they're like they do the bang thing and shit. I was like, oh, this just, yeah, Agent Vet. It was like, this is awesome, you know. And you're similarly like still like going around seeing also reformed villains. Like, I personally loved the carnival scene. I thought the carnival scene was fucking awesome. I liked going around with, because I want to see everything, dude, with Mary Jane and Harry going on the rides and just like having fun, enjoying their life, like talking with each other like real people, like real fucking people. I thought it was a wonderful character building moment. And you got to see Tombstone, you know, And like they showed that the guys that they beat, and that's the huge theme of the game, get reformed. They don't stay evil forever. And it's like, and Mysterio as well. And you're like, that's sort of like the point of the game, right? Is that what they're doing here isn't like a waste, right? The guys get out. There's like, that's what like Pete, there's a point where you're going to Pete's mind. You see him just like, oh my God, I'm wasting my fucking time. Like letting these guys out. They just come back out and they just go into crime again. It's like, no, you see that isn't always the case. That people, they do reform, they change. And the same, and then that ties into, of course, Pete and the, you know, the Venom suit and Venom himself and Harry. And it's like, this is like a game that's all about like redemption. I think that the gameplay and everything is awesome. I think my biggest critique of this game is the open world aspect is still kinda, it feels like it's just like the same mission stuff where it's like these optional missions. Some of them are really cute, but a lot of them feel like, yeah, you're just like flying around doing this thing. It still feels very kind of like go complete icon on map, very kind of like Assassin's Creed, complete this thing, do that. Like not really organic. Like I'd almost say some of the Arkham games did that shit a little bit better than this game did. But like, I mean, I think the combat was way better. I loved when you got the symbiote suit and the powers you got with it. It was so fucking fun. The music is awesome in this game. Listen to this music we're listening to. This is, I think, when you're fighting Pete as Miles. Voice acting is off the charts, insanely good. Yuri fucking killed it. Miles, voice actor, fucking killed it. Laura Bailey, dude, like everyone just out of their minds. They're so good in this game. Some of the scenes, like the scene where you're fighting Pete and stuff, you know, and it's like, you know, I loved you, man. You know, like it is hard not to get kind of emotional. Like, I made you who you are. Something, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you don't even return my calls anymore, dude. Like, it's just so many like, fuck, dude. And like, and the music's swelling up and you're like, oh fuck. Ah! I thought Kraven was amazing in this game. And it was such a smart idea. What a brilliant, like, I understood like when I got part into the game, like, oh, I get what Kraven is, dude. He wants to bring out the demon inside, right? He wants to see the true monster. And that's what happens by the end. Who kills him? It's fucking Venom, right? And it's so good, dude. This game is so much fucking fun to play. I think personally, I liked this game. I've seen a lot of people say they like the first one better because it's, you know, focused on Dr. Ock and it's a much more sort of personal story in that way. And I get that. I do. I personally like this one, I think, more myself. I really liked Harry. I really liked I've always liked the Venom arc. So for me, it just kind of stuck that landing. But God damn, dude, that's just so cool. I think, and another kind of critique on this game, the faces are a little weird, and people are pointing this out. Weirdly, the faces look like sort of more off in this game than they did in the original game, and I don't know why. It seemed like they just like kind of had a hard time getting it right. But dude, look at this shit. Look how cool this is. Whoa! The wingsuit, the glide suit is so fucking fun in this game. Insomniac, man, they're such goddamn talented developers. They're so fucking talented. I think this game was fantastic. I loved it. I was so happy that it was, this for me will be peak Venom probably till the day I die. And I'm so glad because I feel like this arc deserved something this epic and well crafted. And so like, I still think it was a personal story. Like there's such great moments with like, you confront Mary Jane, Miles confronting Peter, and then the final confrontation against Venom and Harry, you know? I loved it. I fucking loved it. My number 6 game of 2023 is Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think I'm not alone in thinking that this game was just gonna bomb because it's a remake of what many people consider to be the greatest video game ever made. So how on earth could they possibly make, like, this doesn't need a remake, right? I went back and played the OG RE4 and I'm like, shit, this game is pretty awesome. Like, doesn't need a remake? Fuck, I don't know. This seems like they're like kind of putting on themselves to fuck this up in some way, right? It's like, how do you perfect perfection, to what a lot of people say, you know? But they did it. They somehow managed to make this game stand out on its own 2 feet. It doesn't replace, like, this isn't like Star Ocean 2, right? Where that's a remake and that just play that game. You don't need to go back and play any of the other versions. Just play that version of the game and you will be fucking golden, dude. This game does not replace RE4 original. It doesn't. It is kind of its own thing while still obviously having a lot of the big moments that the original had. It still has all of the ham and cheese with a little bit more grit. It makes things spookier. Like, this shit was even freakier in this version of the game, dude. This part here was goddamn like, oh my god. Look at me just crawling around like, oh god, I don't know, I'm scared. but it actually improves parts. To be honest, it does improve parts of RE4 original. It makes Luis so much better, dude. He is. I think Luis in this game, yeah, dude, I get it. He's a hot, sexy piece of ass in the OG, but he barely shows up. In this game, he shows up way more often. You get this amazing minecart sequence with him that is just so fucking fun. So fucking fun. Music in the game, by the way, I also got to throw out there, is also amazing, especially in that minecart sequence. Listen to this shit too. It takes aspects of the original and either does a different take on it, a new spin to it, or it improves it mostly. Sadler was probably one of the big exceptions. Sadler, is he as good? No, he's not as good. He isn't. They kind of just make him to just kind of like a basic evil shithead. But it's so weird to me because like, I think that this game is like similarly like a 10 out of 10 kind of level game that the original is. Even if people say the original is like a masterpiece, can't be touched. No, like I said, I think there are characters and moments and stuff in that game that are like, this could have been better. And this game has the exact same thing. Like, Sadler could have been a bit better, but Luis is so much better. The Atmo in this game, the way the action is, I think that the controls of this game, I think, are way better. I think controlling Leon around this and fighting dudes feels better in this game than it did in the OG, personally. And that's gonna be probably a matter of taste. He's just a lot less tanky this time, right? I feel like I kind of move him more solidly. But it has the same wonderful gameplay loop that the OG does have, right? This amazing third-person perspective, right? Aim for the head, aim for the weak point, shoot him in the legs, get the knife out, stab him, confirm the kill. It throws a billion dudes at you still. It's not like RE2 remake where like the zombies are super spongy. It's going more of a horror aspect. No, this game is still actiony as fuck, bro. It's still super actiony. Controls are responsive. Oh, so responsive. I very rarely ever got to a point where I'm like, I got mad because I feel like the game fucked me and I'm just like, there's nothing I could do because my character's so hard to control. Nah, man. Game felt fucking great. Funny thing is, I have yet to even check out the DLC of this game. I have not checked out the Ada Wong DLC, and I hear it's awesome. I have to do that at some point. The cool thing they did with the little charms here, which with all the OG models from RE4 was amazing. Oh Lord, here he comes. You guys ready? He coming. I'm so freaked out. There he is. Like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh god. I can smell you. Blah. Leon still has all his wisecracks. He still fucking roundhouse kicks dudes and suplexes motherfuckers. Oh, you know who else is better in this game? The fucking president's daughter, Ashley, dude. I think she is better in this game. I know the OG has the funny, Leon, help me, like it's all goofy and like overdone and makes her super annoying and you're just like, fucking hell. But like, I like that she goes from being kind of like a kind of uptight and sort of maybe a little prissy like girl that can then like sort of stand on her own 2 feet and like, gets kind of into like helping Leon and shit, Like, I personally liked her better in this game, man. I did. I liked her better. God, this game was just, and you know what I did and that I actually didn't do in the OG game? After beating this, I went off stream. I went back and replayed the whole thing like 2 more times and got like a bunch of shit. And I didn't do that in the original. Even though the original is like, people consider that to be, very much the same way. I think the reason likely was that I didn't play back in the day. So for me, as much as I did like the original, the controls are still kind of clunky to me. Like I was still like, I didn't feel like a huge desire. This one, I didn't have any problems with it, man. Like this feels like a modernized version of that, right? Of that same concept. And I want to go back and just play through it and get all the extra bullshit. Get some crazy overpowered gun that can like one-shot everybody. It's like the take of a guy that didn't play the original when it released, right? Now playing a version of it that is the modern version of it, and I got that same feeling that everyone did back when they played it for the first time in the mid-2000s. This shit, come on, man. You can't tell me this shit isn't better in this game, bro. You can't tell me this shit isn't not like the hypest goddamn shit in this game. It makes you feel like an absolute badass. And it's not even just this one. Even the later fight against him is equally just as good. I think it's so much better in this game, bro. I love it, dude. It's so sick. Kick. So here's why this shit is just like insane to me. They remade a game that is considered one of the best games of all times, and people didn't hate it. And you might think, well, that's all they had to do was do the same exact thing and, you know, upskill or something, but they didn't. They didn't do the exact same thing. They changed some stuff, and people still fucking love it. That is incredible. That is unheard of. Hadn't even gotten to my top 5, but here we go. This is what normally would have been my top 5. Now we have hit the top 5 for 2023. My number 5 game for 2023 is Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed. Now I can already hear Simmons screaming at me like, Nico, how is this not your number 1, you sack of shit, you fat fuck. Sorry, Simmons. I'm sorry. It's only my number 5. But you know what? Come on, dude. Come on. Of course this game is good. First off, it's going to make my top 5. And to be fair, like, well, Nico, this is a DLC. Are you sure this counts as a full game? Motherfucker, this game has more content than most, like, regular one-off single-player games. It has an insane amount of content, especially if you try to do everything. And goddamn, dude, does this game's, like, gameplay loop, it's the best. It actually makes, it's better than 2, 1, or even the base game 3. The gameplay loop of this game is on another level. It gamifies everything, and it's so addicting. I had to do all of it, and I regret nothing. It is the fucking best. Seriously, I cannot stress you how fun this game is to play, and it gives you a reason to fight all the fucking different monsters, to do all the different stuff, and every time you're doing it, you're making your characters get stronger and stronger. It's so brilliant. Oh, here comes Daddy Shulk. Oh, bro. Not to mention, I mean, even that aside, it is like the perfect send-off for this insane trilogy of games that have been set up with Xenoblade, and even honestly stretching all the way back to fucking Xenogears, right? Like the lore and stuff they throw in here, visiting the return of Shulk, of big old Daddy Rex, who shows up here in a little bit. Where the fuck is he? Show us a thing or 3. Bah! I like your attitude. I like your attitude, kiddo. Huh? Leave it to Uncle Rex. Look at that man and his massive cock. Just blocking it with his huge dick. I'll show him a thing of 3. I love how fucking ass blasted and busted this motherfucker is in this game, dude. It's so addicting, dude. This game's such fucking cocaine to play through. The story is awesome too. I love Niall. I love Matthew in his fucking being full of beans. His beans. It's so good. The voice acting is awesome, and just the finalization, right? And I love what they do with Alvis and everything. Fuck, and I'm such an Alvis stan, bro. So seeing him come back at the end in the way they do, I'm like, I think it's actually fantastic. Like, I personally love it. I'm happy to see him again too. All the themes, everything they've been building up towards feels so like it culminates in a way that I wasn't expecting this DLC to do, right? Like initially when I thought of the idea of this being a flashback, I was like, is this gonna hit like the same way that Torna did, you know, in 2 or whatever? Like, I was like, I don't know. I feel like we already kind of know everything, and it's like, no, it really does act as like the best way to cap off this epic series. It's just wonderful. It's an absolute joy to play. I almost, by the way, all the games I'm talking about here are like 10 out of 10s to me. So we've already, like, RE4 is a 10 out of 10. Everything we're going on from this point forward is like a 10 out of 10 to me. So this DLC is fucking insanely just, I think it is one of probably the greatest deals in gaming in terms of just like how much content you get with it. I think it is a wonderful love letter to a series that has become near and dear to all of us. It is a wonderful send-off. It is the perfect capstone to a epic story that I'm so glad that I did stop at 1. I'm so glad that I continued to 2, even though I thought everyone in 2 looked like a big dumb idiots. I'm like, God, I don't know, man. Rex looks like a big stupid shithead in that game. Look how dumb his pants are, and now I love his pants more than life itself. Even if he got rid of them, he's not wearing those pants anymore. Now he's just got regular Giga Chad pants. Yeah, thanks, Simmons. Fuck you. But fuck you. And no, I will not play Xenoblade X. Shut up. I also like these two. God damn, dude. This shit's insane. how good this was. God, I lost my mind when we went to Colony 9 and they started playing the music from Xenoblade 1. I was like, ah! I was like, oh my God! Shit's amazing, dude. This game, despite being a DLC, is, I think it's in a lot of ways even better than the base game of 3. It really is. I really like how they just handle the characters, the story, and the gameplay. 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of goddamn 10. I loved it. Play it if you haven't. You will just, it will suck your hours away. Oh yes, also music, right? We're listening to it right now. Music in this game is obviously godlike. It is obviously fucking godlike. I will not play it. You will, you little bitch. I'm gonna come to your house and fucking porcelain your fucking eye. I'm gonna jam that shit into your system. I'm gonna pry your eyes open, tie you to a chair, and I'm gonna force this in your hands. I'm like, you're gonna play this shit. I want a gun to your head, mother. Like, do it. Do it. I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. No, I don't really want to. I don't even like RPGs. Like, shut up, bitch. Fucking play the game. No, I really, like, seriously, I don't. And also, I really gotta blink. My eyes are burning. I don't give a shit. Fucking play the game. Fucking play this game right now. My number 4 game of the year is Liza P. Ah, yes. This is the Bloodborne we've all been waiting for. That's not called Bloodborne. What a beautifully delightful game this was. Holy goddamn doodly pants. This game was just a fucking delight to experience from beginning to end. It also just helps that the game controlled beautifully. I love the freaking parry system in this game. Like, this game essentially on paper looks like, and also just, you know, screenshots and videos, it looks like it's just Bloodborne, right? But it really isn't. It really isn't. It's got Bloodborne-isms for sure. It is definitely the most Bloodborne-like of any of these like Souls-like games that have been out there. But it has a lot of things in it that are different from Bloodborne, that are actually more akin to other games. They like Sekiro with all the parry system and everything. Like, you definitely can't, you could parry in Bloodborne, but it was with a gun and it was kind of awkward and everything. This game built its entire battle system around parrying, and it's so well executed. It is so satisfying parrying shit in this game, and then staggering a motherfucker or watching their weapon break. You know, doing that to a boss and watching their weapon go and fucking shatter. And it's like, oh my God, I'm a god. Stab him with some crazy weapon that you glued together. Because this game has an awesome weapon crafting system where you can take the hilt and the blade of your weapons and swap them around, and allows you to make the most absolutely busted shit in existence. Holy God, that weapon I had at the end of the game was just ridiculous, and I absolutely regret nothing. That fucking weapon, dude. Took the handle with the critical and like put it on that other long handle. Dude, that thing was just the spear. Yeah, dude. I took the spear handle on, and then the dagger blade, put it on there. It's so goddamn good. Critical. It's such a fun game to play with a really satisfying growth system, you know, of like getting the course and upgrading your guy and getting all these moves that really change how you play the game, right? That really change how stuff is. Not just like stat go up and everything, right? Granted, there's some useless ones in there, but I loved the story of this game, right? I liked the characters that you met along the way and the beautiful tale they told, right? About this little puppet boy who, is he named Pinocchio? I don't think he is, actually. We never actually say his name, his puppet name. Well, we say his real name, but we're not going to go there. That's something else. His this puppet here, right, who we assume is like Pinocchio, right, and how he becomes a real boy. But it does it in a way that's sort of organically put into the game, right, where your decisions, right, choosing to essentially lie to people makes you more human, right? You listen to music back at the hotel, that also makes you more human. Playing on the piano, trying to pet the cat that hates your guts and eventually comes to love you because you're a real guy, because now you're a real ass dude, a gamer boy. Your character starts to breathe and grunt as he like rolls around. That's just so fucking cool. Like they add little things as your character gets more and more and more human. The arm system that you have, you know, how you like shock people, like you put all these different attachments on there, was really fun. The bosses in this game, dude, are awesome. My personal favorite was probably the big armored chick at the end. The one I had the hardest time with was the King of Puppets. He fucked me up really good. And then I beat the final boss in one try. Haha, in your face. I love the boss fights this game. Now I will say I do have my biggest critique against this game is, funny enough, the camera. The camera, when your character gets pushed up against a wall, is awful. Like, you're just dead. And some people are like, isn't like that in all Souls games? No, it is infinitely worse in this game. I don't ever remember in any of those Souls games, sometimes it'll just like wig out or something and it gets kind of weird, but you just have to churn it or something. No, this will just actively kill you. You just get fucking pressed up against a wall and you can't see your character and you cannot move and you're just fucked. And it's way worse in this game than any other Souls game I've ever played. Generally, it's okay. It's just when you get pressed up against a wall, the game just says, nope, you die now. Oh, and I gotta give it to them. The map design in this game is also some of the best from a not Souls developer, from not FromSoft, right? The map design in this game is really good. The game is linear. It's actually way more linear than I think even Bloodborne is. But the finding secrets and stuff, it is so good in this game. It's so well done. So many cool little secrets and alcoves and things that are easy to miss. Really, really impressive map design. Music in the game is awesome. I mean, that's what we're listening to is the music from the little records that you find, and those are so good. They finally released an actual official OST for it. I've yet to buy it, but I will, because they are magical. Actually, like magical. Like they're so like you get why it makes our guy here more human, because it's just like you're like, fuck, dude. Since you're on a journey. And the boss fight music is also fantastic. Yeah, man. I think this game is it's something special, right? Clearly inspired by Bloodborne, but it's become its own thing. It's essentially like, I cannot wait to play the DLC for this game, whatever they're planning. And clearly this game did well enough that they're like, teasing potentially a Wizard of Oz thing, like inspired Souls-like game, that, oh man, dude, give it to me. I'm fucking ready. Like, it's really impressive. And I'm so glad, because this developer definitely deserves all the praise in the world. This is easily, I think, one of the best not from software Souls-like Bloodborne-like games ever. I mean, to be fair, it's not many Bloodborne-like games. That's also kind of what makes it special, but it's got a great ending too. At least the end that I got, I really liked a lot. My number 3 game of 2023 is Hi-Fi Rush. Oh, this beautiful game that came out so early in the year, so early last year, literally shadow dropped. And remember, this game was like just announced and dropped the same day. They just were like, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Just have fun. I described it in the title of the stream when I posted this on YouTube. This game is pure happiness. It really is. This is just like the most feel-good kind of game ever. Like, you just can't help but smile while playing it. This beautiful third-person action adventure game plays like a Devil May Cry game if you have to attack to the beat of the fucking bumping music, right? Just imagine you're playing Devil May Cry 5 and you had to really actually land your attacks to the beat of Devil Trigger. Very tongue-in-cheek, very goofy. It plays like a Saturday morning, and looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, right? The way characters talk to each other. It's a gorgeous game. Like, I love this game's art style. I also think the music in this game is it's insane, right? This is where let's do this. This is when I was like, oh shit, this game is something else. Like, I actually think I like the non-licensed music better than the actual licensed music they used. Take what I want when I want, when I want, when I want. Like, it's so goddamn good. To fail. It's so cute. There's little robots and everything. They have such personality. Your party that you meet along the way have such colorful personalities. You just can't help but feel like it's so funny, dude. Like Chai here, like just shoot. Like, he's such a dumb dope of a character, but like his pals can't help but like sort of be like pulled towards him as he tries to overthrow this crazy company. And you fight all the crazy bosses here, like this JoJo man here. Literally JoJo man. Voice acting is top notch in this game too, dude. I played by the way, after I beat this game, I went back and did go back through and to get like S ranks on stuff and did all like the extra challenge shit, because this game was just so fucking fun. I beat the tower mode, like the 100 floor tower mode. I actually beat it. I really, and like just I got this game. I feel like I don't know, it was interesting. I went back and watched other people play it. I don't know, maybe it's just my, because I have an ear for music, but I feel like I had a much easier time with this game's battle system than a lot of other people did. Like, I was watching Max, and like, I was flying through some of the stuff that he was like fucking struggling with and stuff. And I don't know, but I really just like connected with this game's like battle system, like almost immediately. And I just like, yeah, man, I was like, I get into this shit, I get into the fucking zone. I'm like enter the zen state of like, yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2, buckle my and it just, this game, and this is why I'm so thrilled it won. This game is literally audio design. It is audio design, which is why it deserved to win that award. I'm so glad it did. This game has like everything in the world around you, to your characters, to the action, to the fucking scenes themselves. The cutscenes are all going to the music. Everything is constantly flowing. That's like the point. That's the idea, right? That Chai gets like this thing embedded into his heart that lets him see and feel the music to another level. And that's what makes this shit just so like beautifully, insanely animated, right? And even when the game essentially like has a hilariously cheeky Xenogears reference to just point out, yeah, we had to cut this part of the game out. It's so like, I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude. This shit's amazing. Look how beautiful this is. But look at this, dude. Animators went fucking ham on this game. This game is fucking fantastic. It's my number 3 game of the year. It is now. I think we're reaching 11 out of 10. This game is like an 11 out of fucking 10. I loved it. I loved it so much. I played it even more after I beat it. I still want to play it. It's just a fucking amazing time. Wonderful exploration, wonderful characters, amazing music, beautiful art style, wonderful voice acting. Play this fucking game. You will not regret it. I love this. I love this game. My number 2 top game of 2023 is Master Detective Archives Rain Code. This is very much going to be a controversial opinion, probably. But fuck you. This is my list. I can do whatever the fuck I want, bitch. I can do whatever the fuck I want. This is my fucking list. You can all suck my balls. You can all suck my fucking balls. This game is my number 2 game of this year. I love this goddamn game, dude. Is it a perfect game? No. No, it definitely is not. It's got some weird guys, weird story beats sometimes. Desico's in it. And like, I think that the very tail end of this is like only okay. Like, it's like, I'm like almost sort of like, wasn't quite as satisfying as I'd hoped it would be. Though I would say when we got to the end of that DLC, I was like, dude, I wish it had that kind of ending, right? That DLC ending was actually amazing with Vivia and Yako. But for what this game is, for what is finally like Kadaka tackling something that is not Danganronpa, right? I've been waiting so long to see what the hell this motherfucker was gonna do next, because I'm a huge Kadaka stan, all right? After Danganronpa, you better believe I am. Anything this motherfucker does is gonna get me all amped and hot and horny and ready to go. And I was not disappointed with what this game ended up being. In fact, I think this game actually surpassed my expectations in a lot of ways, because it kind of does away with a lot of the things that Danganronpa has. There are Danganronpa-isms in it, for sure. We're still solving mysteries, essentially. We are now actually an official detective in that capacity, but there's no like social link kind of things. I mean, sort of, but not really. There isn't like you choose to hang out with. There's no like time management sim. There's no crazy punishments. You know, it's punishment time. But what this game does offer instead is a breath of fresh air, a new experience that I have not experienced, and I did not experience with these other games. Something different. And I really appreciate that, because it would be so easy for him to just continue to do what he's been doing, right? In fact, he even described in an interview that the original version of Rain Code was eerily similar to how Danganronpa was. And he had to go back to the writing board because he's like, I don't want to just do the same thing again. That's the kind of the meme of V3, right? That's like the hidden undertone to that game is like, we're going to be doing this shit forever, bro. Danganronpa 54, let's fucking go. What he does bring to the table here, one, I love Yuma as a protagonist. I think he's an awesome protagonist. I also love Shinigami. I did not think I would. Based on the trailers we have for this game, and we were seeing Shinigami, I was like, I think Shinigami is gonna be kind of annoying. And sometimes she is, don't be wrong, like, you know that one chapter where she's like just nothing but just pissy at you the whole time. That one aside, I think she's actually pretty awesome. I think she's handled really well here in a comical way that ends up being funny and endearing and kind of cute and surprisingly helpful, you know, like actually not just memes and dreams, but actually truly helping out our pal Yuma here. Also, this guy right here is like one of the best characters in the game. Vivia is fucking phenomenal. A totally different kind of character that I feel like Kodaka has done before, and he's handled beautifully in this game. He's so good, goddamn good. Voice acting across the board is fantastic. Everybody's good. Even Desahiko, I'm like, I don't like Desahiko's character like a ton, but voice acted wonderfully. And even then, still there are moments I do like Desahiko. I ended up liking freaking good old Fubuki here. I initially did not like her for how ditzy she was. I ended up actually liking her a lot by the end, because you realize she's like really not like a bad person at all. She's just kind of trying her best. She doesn't mean to be. She's dummy thick. She's the best line in the game. Oh dude, that shit was so fucking funny. That shit made I read that, I couldn't believe it. It made me just like, oh, that's actually like legendary. Desahiko, for how much of a perv as he is, I'd say out of all the pervy characters, he's probably the best. But he's still like, you know, that kind of pervy character still makes you gonna go, ugh. But the thing that I think I really have to like applaud this game for is how they brought over the Danganronpa formula and changed it in ways that I wasn't expecting. Now we're like running around the world as actually full 3D, right? And I have to give it to this game's art department. They fucking killed it, bro. And transitioning this game to like full 3D. Like, and they did that for like Despair Girls, right? But like in a full ass, big ass game, this huge, massive open city that you can run around in and like interact with people and take on cases and do stuff. The insane choreography from like diving into the mystery labyrinth and doing all these different like things. You weren't just doing the same thing every time. Like different scenarios would happen. Like you'd be falling down a tower and then the tower would turn this way and you'd run along this thing, and then you grab on an object and you flip around and then this thing happens. And they were constantly throwing different like crazy scenarios at you that really showed how much more budget this game has. Holy fuck, dude. Clearly after the success of Danganronpa, they said, yo, Kodaka, just take our money, bro, which is the smartest thing you can do. Yes, give Kodaka your money and let him make crazy shit. And it just shows. It shows so much. This game has so much more budget than any Danganronpa game ever had. And it's wonderful. I was so like tickled and thrilled to see all of the crazy cinematics and stuff they had going on for especially the Mystery Labyrinth. That was really where that shit shined and shit got crazy, especially the ending stuff. That, you know, the final stuff was like, whoa, they were getting some wild and stuff. Of course the music is also a banger. Masafumi absolutely killing it again. Same guys, the Danganronpa team, and Rui with her artwork, also just killing it. Just absolutely fucking slaying it. I love their artwork so much. I love it. It has so much character, and it's Rui, right? It's, you just know, you immediately recognize their art style. And I almost feel like it's like synonymous with Kodaka at this point. And I really liked just the mysteries we had to solve here. There's one dud, I feel like, in this game. And it's such a weird one to me because the dud mystery was like, in my opinion, was starting off really good, and then it just ended, and that was it. And it was so odd to me because it was like, it wasn't like it was trash the whole time. It was like, no, it was really good, and then it just ended. But I thought all the other ones were really quite good. Obviously, there are ones that are better than others or something, but I was invested in pretty much all of them to some extent, minus the one that just kind of ended, and then I was like, okay, well. I also did rather enjoy the side requests here. These things, like, they were mostly just kind of fetch questy things, but they did like have you sort of explore the city in unique ways. They did a really smart thing where they basically took NPCs from your previous cases and reused them for some of the side cases to give them more characterization, which was really a great idea. And they didn't overstay their welcome. There was only like 4 per chapter, and I thought that was the perfect amount. Just give you a little something extra and spicy to do, right? The little things that you use to hang out with your party members, the social links here, like, they didn't have the same level of interactivity that Danganronpa did, where your decisions matter or increase your affinity or whatever. They were basically just kind of linear story pieces, but I did like them. I do hope that later games maybe add a bit more of what made those special for Danganronpa. Like, I wouldn't mind that. But I can also understand him maybe trying to veer away from it a little bit. I also just love the setting of this game. I think Kanai Ward is such a cool looking neon splash city with that never stops raining, you know? The mindfucks were great. The beginning mindfuck really, like, I was in straight denial, bro. I was like, there's no way. I do not believe this is actually what's happening. I do not fucking believe that happened. Like, everyone was like, Nico just went through like the seven stages of grief or something, like in that beginning, or I'm just like, no, I don't believe this is some fucking bullshit. No. Poochie! Or 5 stages of grief, you know, like, what the fuck? But no, but Kadaka just beat Kadaka-ing, right? Kadaka came in and Kadaka'd all over us. The thing was, though, it ended up having a purpose, right? It did have a narrative purpose. It wasn't just a plot twist for the sake of plot twists. And that's why I like Kadaka's twist most of the time, is because there is a narrative purpose behind them. He fucks with us, but he does it with reason. There is something that comes out of it by the end. And at least a lot of crazy shit by the end, this game's conclusion as well. The Mystery Labyrinth itself, too, was so interesting. What a cool ass way for them to essentially do like class trials, right? Of you like diving into this crazy manifestation of the case, right? That is like there to like try to question you to get the answers out of you. That you're slicing the truth with your blade, and it's like this is so smart. This is such a cool way to go about this, man. And how they dole it out to you, right? I think the game also did a very good job at, like, I feel like most cases were not super fucking obvious in this game. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I just know who it is. It's this guy, obviously. Like, there would be times I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. But then I get to the point where I realize, and I go, oh, fuck. Especially, like, a couple of cases where I'm just like the last two were just like, oh, god damn, dude. It got me so good. And I'm like, oh, no, I see where it's going, and I'm scared. Yeah, chapter 3 was the most obvious one, right? But that was the weakest one in the game, too. That was just to me, it was like I almost feel like they cut stuff out of it. I loved how the variety of the districts and everything, too. This game's such a vibe, bro. This game is such a vibe. Listen to this fucking music, bro. This game made me so happy, guys. Like, some of you guys are like, Nico, this game has some flaws, right? Come on, you can't tell me that case 3 was like amazing. No, it wasn't. Yeah, maybe the ending also has like some issues or something. So why is this game still like an 11 out of 10 to me? Because it made me so happy. I was so happy playing this game. It gave me all the things that I loved about Danganronpa in a new way. It made me like remember why I love Kadaka's games so fucking much. Why this guy is like one of my favorite creators. Like, I just love the characters, man, so much. Even characters that I think I won't like, I end up liking in some way, in some weird way. And it's so like fully realized. Like, look at this. Like, you would like go around in Shinigami. This is like one of the things that made Shinigami so like delightful. Is like she'd like go around and react to things around her. She goes to sit in one of the chairs and starts eating ice cream, you know? It's such a great spiritual successor to what Danganronpa was. It made me appreciate Kadaka and his style of writing, and Rui's artwork and Masafumi's music. How it just all comes together in this magical way to make an experience just, it isn't like anything else. You know, this is just nothing like a game that is made by Kadaka. It just isn't. It's just like, it's so wildin', right? It's so wildin'. Crazy shit happens, and you're just like, what the goddamn hell? And yet it still works somehow. You don't feel like you were screwed over, or that this is just the dumbest shit you've ever seen. Like, they make it work, and they make it impactful. And then by the end of the game, you're all just all kinds of fucked up, you know? You're all kinds of messed up, and you get a moment of clarity where you realize, oh my God, everything is coming together in a way that just makes you go, oh my, holy shit, fucking hell, just makes you want to pop the hell off. And this game's no different. Same thing. It's like I feel like the end of a lot of Danganronpa games, especially as they went along. And this game did the exact same thing, gave me those same fucking feelings. This was such a fun Let's Play for me. I was so just in awe of like the experience of this, you know? It had me by the balls. Look at all these. I love how Shinigami is so like Her portraits are so reactive. It's so stupid. I can't handle scary stories. So stupid. Man, look at this. All these little character models and everything. Everyone's so beautifully animated too. This is exactly what I wanted a Kodaka game to be. God, Halara is so cool. I love Halara in this game too. They're definitely one of also one of the best ones. One of your best partners. Halara is so fucking sick. I love this game, dude. I know it is not a perfect game. I know arguably some of the games I even brought up earlier might even be like, you might say like critically better, right? Because like, I'm like Mario RPG technically, I don't know if I have too much to criticize it for. There's things that I can definitely criticize about this game. But that's why I say this is a very personal list. Kodaka games mean a lot to me. They've affected my channel in a lot of ways. I attribute a lot of my audience size to them. You know, that's where a lot of you guys came from, was from me playing through those Danganronpa games. And that really holds a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Because I love those games so much. And I was so happy to just get into this game. I was so afraid that I wasn't going to feel the same way about it. And I fucking do, dude. I do. I just, it has the same gives me the same kinds of feelings that Danganronpa does. That just only I feel like Kodaka and his team can do. So thank you to Kodaka and his team for continuing to make stuff. I'll always be here to play whatever crazy shit you guys shit out. And for as wonderful and also wonderfully imperfect as this game is still my second favorite game of this year. I do have a number one game for this year, and I think it's a surprise. It surprised me, honestly. It surprises me a little bit that this is my number one game, especially with just how crazy this year was, that this ended up still kind of being like, yeah, this is it, man. This shit is fucking awesome. This is, I think, my number one game. And that credit goes to my number one game of 2023 is Paranormasight, motherfuckers. Hell yes. Yes, this goddamn game is my number one game of 2023. And I played this game hella early, dude. I love this game, dude. What an absolute, just out of fucking nowhere kind of game this was. Absolute shot in the dark of like, where the fuck did this game come from? What even is this? Why does it look so cool? Like, where do I even start with this game? It's so, well, one, look at it. Look how beautiful this game is. This game does something that I don't know if I've ever seen with like a visual novel type game like this, where with portraits, where it's constantly changing the camera angle and spots and moving it around in such a cinematic way, and it adds so much to the experience. I cannot fucking tell you how much better this is than just having static portraits standing there, you know? Look at this, man. It's so cinematic. And all it is just 2D portraits, just in a weird angle, or this angle, this one, this way. It's legitimately gorgeous and beautiful. Not to mention the artwork itself is amazing. But this game, it's a visual novel, right? But it has some of the most wild like fourth wall breaking meta shit that I have seen in any game ever, that makes you just feel like a goddamn genius when you figure it out. Like, there is gameplay in this game. It's not just a story, and it's not just about choices. It's like, how do you frame your choices in the grand scope of this epic narrative? Who is this? The game starts off with just like this crazy, like, almost fourth wall breaking narrator talking to me, specifically me, the player, asking me to make certain decisions, you know, follow the story to the end. And you're just like, and immediately just like 5 minutes into this shit's got me by my ass cheeks. Get over here, bitch. I'm like, what is this shit? This shit is fucking wild, bro. Immediately grabbed me, right? And it just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier as you're hopping between the perspectives of all these different characters in this insane game where everyone's got their own curse stone that they can use to kill people and gather their power in a way to then essentially grant themselves a wish by the end, seemingly, right? And how they handle it, and how the characters and their motivations and their reasonings for doing what they do, they're just, every single one of them, Every one of them was so captivating from beginning to end, and they are all beautifully fleshed out. Richter here is so fucking cool. Dude, look at this guy. It's so, look how, like, they, see how much more this adds to the experience? Like that, just zoom in here and then he opens, like, that's so good. I can't stress you how fucking awesome that is, man. Haraway is awesome. She's so cool. I loved her character. The narrator guy constantly interrupts you and telling you like, oh yes, you know, like it's constantly making you go, what is happening in this story, bro? I was so invested in this game, dude. Like, and that's why I went really hard in the voice acting for this game, because I was so just like, I was so captivated by every one of these characters and how like the story plays out, and like, look at this shit. It's like, it just, you will never be able to guess where this shit's going. You're just constantly like, what is this? What's happening? What the feelings that I got from playing this, and this game isn't super long. Like, it's like probably like maybe 12 to 15 hours or something, you know, but it's such a just like it's like, it gives me the feeling that, you know what this game reminds me of a lot is 13 Sentinels. It gives me like the same kinds of feelings of like, what the fucking fuck is this goddamn crazy bullshit, and how you have to solve some scenarios, get yourself through like where I'm like, man, what do I do here? How do I like get past this plot thing? Like, what's going on? And then you realize, oh, I gotta start thinking 4-dimensionally, bro. And I gotta say, I think the final puzzle of this game is legitimately brilliant. I like, when it hit me what it wanted me to do, I lost my fucking mind. I was like, no fucking way. So goddamn cool, dude. It's so fucking cool. So goddamn cool. That's what I felt like. This whole fucking journey was just like, this is so brilliantly crafted and made. The story of like, God, you just feel the characters in this game, dude. Their motivations. Haraway's motivation too is just like, there's so much lore reading. Like, there's a lot of this shit, but it's so important. Read this shit, all right? Trust me, it's captivating. It's not bad, okay? I know it's like, man, it looks like a lot of text. It's so good. All right, just read it. You will not be bored. I promise you. Also, make sure to find these birds. Look at that chicken. Damn. Richter gets all amped up whenever he finds himself a fucking new bird friend. I love Areo and Tetsuo. They were so cool. Areo was such a fucking bro. Like, there's so much like I want to say. I don't want to spoil anything of this game to anybody though. It is very much like a 13 Sentinels. Like, just play it, man. That's all I gotta say is you just fucking play this game. That's like, you just can't even tell people why it's so good. All I gotta say is just, again, art style is amazing, music's amazing. There's no voice acting, but that's fine. I let me voice act it. I was thrilled. I was like, dude, I'm gonna go in so hard on this game. I like how I fucking fucked with some of you guys. Apparently people were like, because I started the game and the narrator just pops in and I just started voicing it like as legit as humanly possible. And people thought it was like the game itself, because people were like, it's not, it was weird for me to start a Let's Play and there's no like hello or anything or greetings. So everyone's just like, wait, is this the game or is that Nico? I don't understand what's going on. Oh man, it's such a wonderfully, like, it is sort of creepy. I wouldn't say this is a scary game. It's more of a suspenseful mystery. It starts off kind of scary, but it's not like what like Spirit Hunter was, right? It wasn't like that level of scary. It is much more of like, this is just a crazy mystery to solve. It just will keep you guessing till the very end. I absolutely adored this game. I adored this game so much, and how they just, they took all of these different fascinating characters and give them this like this powerful curse, and how they end up getting used or not used, and how it affects the story, and like the variety of endings that you get, and the mysteries you have to solve yourself as the player. You actually do get like an escape room style thing in here that was really fucking cool. Oh, and the scenario that was happening in, how fucking awesome was that, dude? Again, I don't want to say it, but that scenario that you were in with the escape room thing, and like how it starts, how fucking awesome was that, man? when you got there and just like, what the fuck, dude? What is this? What's going on? Like, this is the kind of shit that's like, you're only ever gonna have this kind of experience like one time. But goddamn, is that one time, like again with like 13 Sentinels, it's so magical. Like, there's just nothing like it. I just cannot recommend this game enough. If you have not played this game, please play it or watch my Let's Play. But honestly, I'd even say just play it yourself too, because it makes you feel like a genius when you figure out the stuff that the game wants you to do. You're like, oh my god, like it's so smart. This is such a smartly written game. The guy that wrote this game is apparently a renowned visual novel writer. Like, he's done a number of different games that were only ever released in Japan. This is the first game to ever get released in the West. And motherfucker, I want them to bring over every one of the games that he ever made. I want to play those so badly, because after just this one game, I am a fucking rabid fanboy for this guy's work. It's so just captivating. It's so good. This game's like a 12 out of 10 to me, dude. I was tempted to give it to Renko, but I was like, nah, man, I can't. It's recency bias, kicking in of like, well, Renko was the most recent thing. But remember how you felt when you played this game and we got to the end and all the shit that happened? I'm like, oh, that's right. And like, I really don't have many critiques against this game either. I really don't. I know some people don't. There's some parts of the ending which I do get, but personally didn't really bother me that much. I think that this game's just almost just perfectly fucking crafted in its story and how it's set up. I loved it. I fucking loved it. Play it, buy it, love it too. It's not very long. I think it also might be a little expensive for what it is too, for just the size of it, but it is so worth it, dude. It's such a goddamn once in a lifetime kind of story kind of game. You're gonna play this one time, but it's, man, goddamn, that's gonna be good. It's goddamn, is it gonna be good? Is it better than Grace Attorney 2? That's not the kind of question you're supposed to be asking. It's completely different, dude. It's so different. It's such a different kind of experience. It's not apples to apples. Oh, is it only $20? Never mind. No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of I'm sorry. It's only $20. No, that's super reasonable. I'm thinking of Spirit Hunter. Spirit Hunter Deathmark was like $50, and I'm like, I think the game was good, but that I'm like, that's a little expensive for that game. I think it's a little expensive. That's a little expensive. This is my number one game of this year. I again played it really early in the year, and even Rain Code, man, couldn't beat it out. It's too good. It was too goated. Just thinking about it gets me so excited. You better fucking believe, dude. Like, I'm gonna play anything this guy makes. Anything. If there's a Paranormal Strike 2, I'll be fucking first in line. I think this game actually ended up selling pretty well for them too, which is so, I'm just like, thank you, yes. God, look at it. It's just so cinematic, dude, and it does so much for it. So much for this game. It's like you're fucking watching a movie. Anyway, thank you guys. That was my top 10 games of 2023.